Good morning.
Morning.
Have you ever been offered a job that was on paper perfect for you? The salary was good, the benefits were even better, it fit exactly what you like to do, but you just had this sense that it just wasn't going to work. And so you turned it down. That's called intuition. And as was said by Lou, there are many definitions for this, and my favorite one is the one that she just said. It's your sixth sense. It's your second heart. We sometimes refer to intuition as that hunch, that inner feeling, that knowing this just isn't going to work. I'm going to talk to you right now about a friend of mine. Her name is Amy. And I have two wonderful stories about Amy. And Amy has a heightened gift of intuition. Amy is 40 years old, and Amy has Down syndrome. Amy was in New York City with her parents not too long ago, and they were just sightseeing, walking around Lower East Manhattan. And all of a sudden, her parents saw this sign that said, Jewish Heritage Museum. And they thought, let's go see that. We've heard a lot about it, but we didn't know where it was. And so they said to Amy, we're going to go into this building. Amy has an IQ of a 7-year-old. She barely reads. And even if she read that sign, she would have trouble understanding what it meant. Amy said to her parents, I do not want to go in that building, no. And her parents said, Amy, we're going to just go in and see this museum. If you don't want to walk through the museum, you can just stay in the waiting room and one of us will stay with you and go look at it and then we'll leave. And Amy hesitantly but firmly grabbed her parents' hands and started walking very slowly towards the building. She took 2 steps inside the building, and said, I have to get out of this bad building, and started crying. And the crying turned to sobbing. And her parents said, Amy, we will leave. And they left. There is no logical explanation of why Amy did that. There was something she sensed about that place, that it was not a good place to be in, and she didn't want to be any part of it. Another story of Amy, which is dear to my heart, is her mother and I and Amy were going to go to lunch, and I went to the house to pick them up. And they came out to the car, and we did the usual greeting of, hi Amy, how are you? And said to her mother, where should we go to eat? And so we had this conversation. We finally decided on where we were going to eat. And as I drove away, Amy said to me from the back seat, Anita, why are you so sad? And her mother turned to her. She was sitting behind me. Amy was behind me and her mother in the passenger side, and said, Amy, what a silly statement to say. Why do you say things like that? And I said, Vicki, Amy is right. I am very sad today. And I don't know what it was that keyed Amy in on that. But I said to Amy and her mother, I'm sad because I just got news, excuse me, that a very good friend of mine has been in remission from cancer and has just been told that there's been a reoccurrence. And it isn't looking good. It has metastasized and gone to the lungs. And I just said to Amy, thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate you acknowledging that I'm sad. And that was the end of the conversation. Again, I don't know, as if I just did now, if there was something in my voice that she caught, if there was a hesitation, but she knew that I was sad. Her mother did not catch it at all. And I thought I was talking like I'm saying today is Friday. We use intuition many more times than we realize. We use it to sometimes and oftentimes pick a life partner. We also use it when we buy a house. There's some gut feeling, some hunch that this is where I belong. We use it sometimes when we buy a car. We might even use it, like I did this morning, when you just grab anything and put it on. It's your intuition. There's nothing logical about it. What really happens is that we not only use it personally, but we also use it professionally. And most of us don't like to admit, well, we did this because we had this inner feeling, this hunch, these voices talking to us. You're like, wow, whoever this is, let's find another friend. I am a lawyer, and I was trained to be very logical, very analytical, and I'm good at that. And I know, because I have gone to trials as second chair, that there is that intuition that lawyers use. And the intuition is that they want to make sure that the judge and jury believes in your client, that they sense that there's something good about this person. They're not getting up there to lie. And there has to be that connection. You can have all the evidence in the world, but unless that judge and jury can intuitively figure out that this person is, they might have made a mistake, they might have not done things exactly right, they're basically a good person in trying to do the best they can. We do that all the time in law, even though we don't admit to that. We need to balance our life. That's a simplistic statement, but such a profound statement. So not only do we need to acknowledge our intuitiveness, but also to use our logical sense. In order to be more intuitive, we need to do three things. We must listen to our inner voice. We must listen to our dreams, which are really our subconscious, our intuition speaking to us, and we must get rid of our negative emotions so that we're not blocking intuition. I can tell you that Amy had two of those three. She did not, unfortunately, that I'm aware of, get in touch with her dreams. I never ask her. But I would bet if I asked Amy, she would say, yes, I have dreams, Anita. And she could in detail tell me. And knowing Amy, they would be in great Technicolor.